Hey traders, checking in on the stock market today. New all-time highs. Euphoria continues out there, but by the end of the day, we did get some signs of the potential of a temporary top being set. I'll show you what I'm looking for in individual names for their pullbacks. We've got some back burner trades to be watching, and I'll show you the volatile setups that I'm looking at over the next couple of days. So we can see the S&P 500 futures chart here. We've got a higher low every day stair-step pattern 10 days in a row. A bearish reversal gravestone doji is the daily candle that has printed, and if the low of today breaks tomorrow, we lose the pattern of a higher low every single day. We scout a daily higher low with tons of space for it to form, and we scout our back burner trades because we're coming off of all-time highs. So we'll be keeping an eye out for first hourly oversold conditions. We ended the day with, well, we started the day with strength, a notable drop, an hourly bounce, and I entered a short SPXS position as a hedge. I have not had a hedge in a couple weeks ever since the bulls changed the daily trend back in their favor and re-entered into this bounce. Didn't nail the top of the bounce, but knew that I was playing off of the all-time high. So plenty of wiggle room. And then we set that hourly lower high into the end of the day, and the bears will have to break the lows of today tomorrow to confirm the hourly downtrend. And on SPY, that level would have to be 455.56. But again, we will be watching for a bounce, first hourly oversold conditions, and tons of space for a daily higher low to form. NASDAQ futures chart, same candle, but a double top at the all-time high. So we're still keeping an eye on this all-time high resistance. The bulls need to maintain this daily higher low of support to keep their control, because if that daily higher low were to break from here, it would be a double top into weekly consolidation, which would obviously not be ideal for bulls. So here's QQQ. Again, a little wall of resistance up there in the 382s. Anything above 372.39 is a daily higher low. We've got some earnings right now, so a little bit of weakness after hours. We're looking at Google earnings, bearish reaction to Google, bullish reaction to Microsoft. They're probably going to offset each other a good bit. So we'll keep looking towards Apple and Microsoft and Amazon earnings, not Microsoft, Apple and Amazon earnings later this week. IWM, got to be a little cautious. Again, I'm not getting the breakout confidence that I want. And we broke 229.84. That's great. But we've got all this resistance in the 230s that we have to be keeping our eyes on. And it's just a resistant zone for me. Just drawing this price range and all the tops we've set up here. And we're rejecting from it again and closing at the low of the day. It's still going to be the daily uptrend that I care about the most, and the last higher low is 225.69, but I'm not going to lose sight of the possibility where, looking at this weekly chart, we may need another period of consolidation and an attempt at another weekly higher low before bulls can get over these resistance levels. Also keeping in mind, the financial sector is the largest sector holdings in IWM, and it's a stair-step pattern, higher low every single day for the last 9 days. Consolidation is inevitable. It's not going to be surprising when XLF sees daily consolidation from here, and that could lead to IWM losing its daily uptrend and starting this weekly consolidation. So still watching for a breakout and still watching for all-time highs, but if the daily uptrend is lost, we may need weekly consolidation first. Financial sector was keeping an eye out for a short today, and the reason being, what happens when we see stair-step patterns to the upside? We get good pullbacks. There was a pullback, there was a pullback, there was a pullback. These are notable drops after very significant bull moves. So today I was scouting a rejection from the all-time high or a bull break with zero follow-through into weakness. And what we got was a rejection first thing, but first 5-minute oversold conditions, bulls were ready for that bounce and right back to the high of the day. And as soon as that happened, not interested in a short. So it didn't even make an attempt. And again, I wasn't looking to play this bounce, but 5-minute oversold conditions gave me information. It told me, yes, bulls were waiting right at that level and aggressively bought that dip. So again, the RSI and the bounces and how they play out and back burners, they don't have to always be trades we're looking to take. They can give us information and keep us from taking trades in the other direction. We then double bottomed at the low of the day. That's how the SPY bulls were confident that we weren't going to roll over and see a big red day today, because XLF double bottomed and bounced significantly. But I'm watching again tomorrow, same deal. Watching for a break of 40.54 to lead to daily consolidation. We'll scout an hourly back burner and we'll scout a daily high or low, but there may be a short-term trade there if we open the morning above 40.54 and break it during regular trading hours. XLV continuing its laggard bounce, a lead sector bull the last week of trading, but we know we're scouting a weekly lower high, keeping an eye out for it. At this point, I would call anything on the daily above 126.55 a higher low, so plenty of space to consolidate and maintain the uptrend, but I am keeping an eye out for a weekly lower high bigger picture due to the size of this pullback and the size of this range. Biotech sector struggling. We broke our short-term resistance. It was a quadruple top in the low 125s, but no follow through and close at the low of the day. And we're tightening up here, which tells me that volatility is coming to the biotech sector here soon. Base of support, rejecting from, or setting a lower high, I should say, and just watching for the possibility of another leg down. All depends on what IWM does and what the broader market does. Could get another bottom fishing play off 118, which is what I'm keeping a close eye on. That is the key support level that we are currently about 4% above. So watching that level closely. And what I would want to see would be a bear break of this range, hold 118 straight into a notable bounce, but that trade would have to set up really well for me to take it. I haven't traded the biotech sector in a while. Semiconductors, it's notable to me that NVDA had a beast of a day with a gap up and surge to all-time highs, and AMD did as well, bearish reversal candle by the end of it, but SMH is not hitting all-time highs. So that increases probabilities for me that a weekly lower high may shape up here. And again, just some daily consolidation, even in our lead bulls, will add some downward pressure here. And if SMH drops down and loses the daily uptrend, the last higher low for me is 264.47. But if we lose the daily uptrend, weekly lower high will be set and we'll have a weekly tightening range to be watching. So Tesla, huge push up, big pullback, tons of volatility. So we had an hourly bounce, an hourly lower high was the result of that bounce. If we break the low of today, 1,000, it's a confirmed hourly downtrend. Daily consolidation starts. We scout a back burner hourly oversold bounce, looking for a daily higher low. And we got a lot of these setting up. Netflix is coming off the all-time high, scouting hourly oversold for a daily higher low. Plenty of space for it. NVDA, we're scouting an hourly oversold bounce for a daily higher low next time daily consolidation takes place. So keep those on watch. That's why they're called the back burner trades. I know this isn't a trade right now in the here and now for NVDA, but I know days down the line, that's a trade opportunity, and that could make my day. That one little trade that eventually will present itself could be my day maker, and then I'm done. So Tesla, I'm watching for that tomorrow if this pullback continues. Tons of space for the daily higher low, just a little blow off top after an amazing push up over the last few days. And it's even more amazing because of the market cap and the amount of dollar volume that is being traded on this name. So that's a slew of names where I know I'm watching those setups for hourly oversold bounces. The other kinds of setups I'm watching are from our recent runners. BKKT sold pre-market and was just scaling out pre-market and was all out before the bell rang, and a big pullback day. Not surprising. It's essentially one day behind our other runners like DWAC. We closed strong, the bulls pushed it for a gap up open, and then daily consolidation started. And so we gapped up, and now daily consolidation is potentially shaping up. So if we break the low of today tomorrow on BKKT up 21.72, daily consolidation is underway, and we're scouting a daily higher low. But for now, I'm done with this name and not interested in trading it in the short term because I am looking at DWAC. And what I want to see is a gap down open tomorrow. And I want to see a gap fill at 52 here, and I want to see hourly oversold conditions, which are close. Then I'll be scouting a bounce. When we set a daily higher low, and again, this playbook, forget Trump, forget all that, none of that matters. That's just the sexy story that gets the market makers and big hedge funds to be able to get the herd to buy their bags after they push it up 300, 500, 800%. It's the same play that plays out. You run really hard and fast. The faster you run, the sooner you top out, and then you pull back 40% plus easy, and you slow grind down looking for a daily higher low. You eventually set the daily higher low, and you see a 50% bounce. We're going to bounce 50% once we find a daily support level. Whether it's at 55 or 40, I have no idea where it's going to form. Just like I had no idea where we were going to top out. But I know how it's going to shape up after watching it play out dozens of times over the years. So I'm scouting for a daily high or low, but I will not just scale in to oversold conditions because I know RSI can get overextended. There's no previous price history. I have to have a support level I'm playing off of, and if I don't, I have to have a clearly defined dollar risk amount that I'm willing to take, and that's my stop level. So I'll be interested, but it depends on how it shapes up. And I certainly don't want to get caught in any downside halts, but we're scouting a daily high or low, hourly oversold conditions, daily EMA 12 is going to continue catching up, gap fill at 52, and a 50% bounce. Other than that, PHUN is another one with the same story. Played the bounce today while I was live streaming, and it was just an all-out dump, 5-minute waterfall drop. And at first I thought, okay, I'm going to wait for the 5-minute waterfall pattern to break for me to make an entry. But I changed my game plan a little bit in the heat of the moment. So lower high every single candle, 5-minute RSI down in the teens, 15-minute RSI down in the low 20s, hourly RSI not oversold yet, but just looking for a 5-minute oversold bounce is essentially the trade I was looking for. And I was down watching, I wasn't watching it on the 1-minute time frame, but I was watching the bid and the ask and the low of the day. So we tightened up here, tried to hold 5. It broke bear, another leg down. We hit the low of the day of 452. We then bounced 4%. Doesn't look like it, but that's a 4% bounce right there. And then we broke the low of the day by 2 pennies, no follow through. As soon as I saw that no follow through, knowing that it's a 1-minute waterfall drop inside a 5-minute waterfall drop, I enter bull. I get filled at 460. My stop goes under 450. Let's say I'm risking 12 cents. What's my reward? $1. I was looking at the potential of $1 of upside. So easily 5 reward to 1 risk. It didn't get that much follow through, but I knew that the reward was more significant than that amount of risk. So as soon as we bounce, I'm filled at 460. We go up to 480. And this is all in a span of 4 minutes where I see a low of the day, a bear break with no follow through. I make my entry and I sell half, all within 4 minutes. So I'm just clicking buttons and filling out orders very quickly. As soon as I'm in my position, I'm filling out my stop loss and filling out my sell orders at the same time. So I sell half at 480. I now have a break even of 440. I cannot lose on this trade. And I just watch and say, okay, how much follow through can we get? The 5-minute oversold bounce is underway. Where's my target to sell? 5-minute EMA 12, ideally. I'd love to get up to 5-minute EMA 12, up to the 530s, 540s. We slowed down. We didn't quite get there. And so I'm watching on the 1-minute time frame at this point to gauge where I want to take my profit on the second position. And at this point, my 440 position is up, 440 average, I should say, is up 20% at the high of this bounce. So I see the high of the bounce to get set, 1-minute high or low. Okay, I'm still holding. I'll give the bulls a chance to keep the 1-minute uptrend going. Little inside bar. That's where I needed to see the bulls break 520 and keep this move going. And as soon as they didn't, I exited. I probably sold at maybe 508. And again, it's the mindset of not caring at all about leaving anything on the table. Give me my money. Give me my day maker. Thank you very much. See you next time. And it ended up being, I think it was a 2-day maker or so on that bounce. So again, if I can lock in a 2-day maker in the first 45 minutes of trading, that's a win. So that is pretty much my day for trading. Did a little Tesla bounce trade, nothing very notable. I think it ended up being a 30% day maker. Didn't get the bounce I wanted. It was before the bottom was hit. Other than that, that's about it. So that's what I'm looking at in the short term over the next couple of days. Watching for broader market daily consolidation, keeping an eye on XLF for a potential short, hourly oversold back burners, NVDA, Tesla, Netflix, and volatile names, scouting the daily higher lows. Observe if you have not traded them before, because it can always go lower than you think, and they're very tricky. I appreciate you watching. Do good things. We'll see you tomorrow. Flowers are still going for the pollinators. This is the home stretch. There'll be a lot less bees soon. Dill, lettuce, some peas that did not find the wire to trellis. These are some, I forget if they're Chinese or Japanese, but winged something bean. These are basil plants that started as seedlings back in late May. So 4-month-old big bushes.